Hello and welcome to round 4 of the r/IndyCar iRacing League presented by Raceverse. Last week, newcomer to the series, Dakness69 dominated the long straights of Road America. Now the series heads 300 miles south to the crown jewel event, the Indianapolis 300. The home to the greatest spectacle in racing. The drivers will test themselves with the highest speeds of the season as well as the longest race of the season. Will championship leader Caleb Fastcar fan Bensi continue his oval dominance, or will someone else find victory at the Brickyard? Hot on the heels are season, where speeds will hit nearly 240 miles per hour. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, we're gonna check out some qualifying here, so let's bring this up. Hoosier in the Big D here had one of the faster laps in the last practice session, so we'll want to keep an eye on him as well as all of the other championship competitors out there. They'll have a little bit of extra time today to do this. They usually have about 5 minutes, and they'll be on 8 minutes to run their 4 laps here. And of course, they're all qualifying at the same time here. See if fast car fans out there as well. When somebody posts a lap, we should get some speeds. Hoosier in the Big D's out there. Let's see if Julian also had a very fast lap, hitting 235 miles an hour in the end of the straightaway there. We'll go on board for a moment here as he heads onto the back straightaway. There we go. Fast car fan posts a lap at 228.677. Jerry 89 with a 227.11. Faden with a 228.8. Demigod of Chops also 228.2. So the Hoosier in the Big D looks like he's done with his qualifying. Julian there looks like he's backing off with a 228.9. Yeah, he's down to 200 miles an hour there. Anybody else out here? So we'll look. Evan Dessa, one of the... He looks like he's just hanging out in the pit lane here, but he's one of the fast cars that's out there, winning one of the earlier of the week Indianapolis 250-mile races in the TI IndyCar Challenge. And it looks like he's heading out onto the track now. We've got about... Well, I don't have the total number at the moment, but earlier we had over 25 cars, I believe, out here in practice. Looks like Julian mentioned that he had a big lift on lap 4 of his run. And that killed his run there. As Evan Dessa navigates down the front stretch and into turn 1, hitting over 230 miles an hour, he hugs that under the white line, just above the curbing there, and onto through turn 2 and onto the back stretch. Heads up to 200, not quite 232 miles an hour as he navigates into turn 3. Wide arc outside in the short chute and already through turn 4 onto this front straightaway. Let's see what his top speed is here at the end of the front stretch. So, he pulled out and stopped that Let's see, what did he do there? He might be resetting. Maybe he didn't like what he saw. They're going to have 4 laps here. See, I updated my overlay this week to include the mile per hour. Anybody else out there? I hear cars. I see. We've got... Wasukani is on the track. He has missed, I believe, the last couple races, but he was at the Michigan race. Over 232 miles an hour heading into turn 1, and he hits the wall there on the outside. He's still going, though. Apparently he thinks that he might be able to run this. If I was him, I might consider just driving into the pits and getting a new car. Let's see what he does here. So he warmed up at a 40.063. I don't have the mile per hour on that. We've got another minute of qualifying here, so Fast Car Fan still the top at that 228.677. Julian Altena on the outside, Skugan, Baden, and Jordan F. Demigov Chops. Oh, Wasukani really hitting that wall this time. And yeah, I would say that's the end of that run. Got anybody else out here? Looks like we've got a new driver to the series. Juan Pablo Ruiz is out here. Yeah, let's see, where is Hay Racer in this thing? I'm not seeing him at the moment. So when we do the grid, I won't have the mile per hour during the grid. We'll just have the seconds. But looks like we got Fast Car Fan on the pole at that 228.677. So congratulations to him, our championship leader, laying down the lap here. With Julian Altana, who's third in points in the P2 position. As we prepare to grid for our 120 laps. Oddly enough, the pace car is already moving. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, Julian, you should focus on the race and not on the YouTube chat. Not the first time I've said that. We'll wait for the grid to line up here. So apparently the pace car is going to be running this race by itself tonight, as we have some technical difficulties here. The grid is not, the field has not gridded so far, and we're going to run the race. So I'm assuming that we're probably going to have a reset of the session here at some point, and get this thing going here. Yep, I would assume as much. So we will be right back after there is a new session created. So as I said, the pace car wins this one. and we're gonna set up a new session here. Yeah, so we're waiting on a new session for the admin of the league to create a new session, and then we'll hopefully go straight to qualifying, re-qualifying, and get this thing running momentarily. So I appreciate you guys standing by. Alright, well, we're loading into the next session, the correct session. I noticed that my Be Right Back video here actually only plays for about 7 minutes, so I'll have to fix that for next time if we have a delay that's longer than that. Race cars are back on the track, so what we're doing here is we're going to have a 5-minute practice session and then go for 5-minute qualifying. We're already through 2 minutes till the end of this quick practice session to get everybody into the server, and then we'll be heading straight to qualifying. Just some technical difficulties. We don't know what heat racing means apparently, so apologies for that on behalf of the r/IndyCar iRacing League. Certainly a first here for us in the raceverse, but we appreciate everybody hanging out here with us and standing by. I think we had over 20 to 30 people hang through the Be Right Back logo, and we had our drivers coming in and letting us know what was happening because they had a better look at everything than I did. I knew things were up when I saw that Mustang peel away from the grid by itself. So we'll hope that this is the only technical difficulty we have tonight, of course, and we'll hope for some long green flag runs. So we got Fade in there. So we were talking about Hey Racer. Is he in this? I'm not seeing him. I mean, I've got a long list of 20 plus drivers. I'm not seeing Hey Racer on the list of drivers. Alright, we're done with that practice session. We'll be heading to qualifying now. I can help you out a little bit with that, Julian, by making sure that you can't talk during the session. So we had Fast Car Fan. I don't see him out on the track yet. Chops here, though, was pretty fast in his initial qualifying. So we'll keep an eye on him. So we'll have a 5-minute qualifying session, 2 laps. I'm not 100% sure when my leaderboard here updates, whether it's after the 2nd lap or it's on the 1st lap. I was a little concerned that that wasn't working when it was showing that 0 on the screen. So we'll see what happens. So who's everybody pulling for tonight in the race here? We're gonna have 120 laps as Chops navigates through turn 1 through the south short chute into the 2nd turn by the Sweets onto the backstretch, heading down the backstretch, long run down to turn 3. Let's see if we can get his telemetry there. 232 mile an hour into turn 3, through the north short chute, onto turn 4, as he navigates back to the start-finish line. We'll see what kind of lap he can do. Looks like we've got some faster laps through this qualifying session. Some 229.8. So we don't have... Okay, so Chops did a 229.7. I'm pretty sure that he had done a 229.3 previously, in the previous session. Fast Car Fan has put in the first 230 mile an hour lap in the session as he peaks out at 233.3 miles an hour, it looked like, as he navigates into the north short chute, heading on to the straightaway for his final time. A 230.6609. That could be the lap to beat here. And he is done with his run. We've got several cars, 7 cars over 230 miles an hour. There's Julian there, 234 miles an hour into turn 1. Also a 230 mile an hour lap, a 230.437. So a little bit different. We might have some slightly different weather or rubber or something on the track has made the speeds just a little bit faster than they were previously, because we have 12 cars into the 230 mile an hour range. Let's see if anybody else is out here. See, Jerry89 has not put in a lap yet. Somebody's out there. I see, it was probably... Well, you have James here. There we go, so Jerry89. 232 into turn 1. He navigates through turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Heading into turn 3. All of these drivers look to be hugging that straightaway. A little bit different line than you see in the real life qualifying for the Indianapolis 500, where the cars snake out kind of towards the pit wall during their runs. So we've got Jerry's put in his first lap. Looks like it's only good for about 26th position, but this second lap looks to be his money lap here. So we do have a different pole sitter here. We have Faden on pole with that 230.66. I'm sure some of these drivers will be grumbling about that reset there because they've been shuffled. Fast Car Fan had the pole originally, and Julian Altana was in 2nd position. All right, well, we're done with qualifying. Let's see what happens this time. Heading to the grid. Yeah, so I guess it was because there was single lap qualifying as opposed to 4-lap qualifying that we were trying to do in the previous session. All the cars gridding up here. They have a couple minutes to everybody to grid. So let's go ahead and do our starting grid. We've got Faden in P1, Weija Booty in P2, Demigod of Chops in P3, Solar 424 in P4, Fastcar Fan in P5 now, Skugan in P6, Cincy Gator in P7, Julian Altena in P8, Jordan F1 in P9, Red Oblivion P10, Evan Dessa in P11, Crizzle Colts in P12. Thug Daddy Christopher in 13th, K-Racer 14th, Jerry89 in 15th, Mouse for Life in 16th, McMullen in 17th. Yeah, looks like our grid here is a little bit messy and I don't have information on who is beyond that point. We'll see if it catches up for us when everybody gets out here. As the Mustang pace car pulls away. Yep, that looks like all we have for our grid there. Yeah, because we only had down to P15 on our leaderboard here. Yeah, I'm sure that some of our fast cars from the previous session, after all that was a 4-lap qualifying, will be back up into the mix shortly. So we'll be doing, if you guys are just joining here, we're going to be doing 120 laps. Getting started a little bit behind schedule, probably about 20-25 minutes behind schedule. We've got, it looks like a full field out here tonight. Maybe not quite 33 cars, but nearly. We probably have more than 11 rows because we're in rows of 2. And so we do have an incident limit in this race, and there will be no fast repairs, so if you see anybody crash, they're going to be done for the night here. We've got a 12 incident until a black flag penalty, as Faden brings them down, waiting for the green flag. And there it is, green flag. Green flag, green flag. We got Faden with Weija Booty on the outside in P2. Then we got Chops looking low on Weija Booty. Looks like he'll take over the second position, Demigod of Chops, as they head into the back straightaway. Demigod of Chops challenges Faden in P1 for the first position. Waiting around, Demigod of Chops takes the lead into turn 3. Stretches a slight lead through the short chute as the rest of the field catches back up. Fastcar Fan already moving up into P3. You can see in the back, Julian Altania has moved back into P9 as Fastcar Fan already also taking into the lead as we go into the short chute, already navigated through our first lap. As the even the ticker here has not updated, but I can certainly see Fastcar Fan has taken the lead as Weija Booty looking inside of Demigod of Chops as they navigate through turn 3. And we're cleanly through this first lap here. Got a car high in turn 4 there. Looked like Faden, our pole sitter there, as Demigod of Chops looks inside of Fast Car Fan. Looks like he'll take over the lead into turn 1. As Weija Booty also looking inside of Fast Car Fan. As we complete our 3rd lap here. As now Fast Car Fan looking to inside of Demigod of Chops. So far, this race is back and forth. A little bit reminiscent of the early DW12 era and the Aero Kit areas as opposed to the recent couple of years of the IR18. But these first few laps are going to be really important. We'll see how long they can keep this up as Fast Car Fan once again takes the lead inside from Demigod of Chops. We'll see if he can complete it with Demigod of Chops trying to come back on the outside. And he makes that pass, but how long will it last? Fast Car Fan looks to be protecting that inside line from any moves. Chops a little high through that corner as he's probably setting up to make a move onto the front straightaway here. As he goes inside, looks like we'll swap leads once again here. These drivers really cooperating with one another here. Chops takes the lead once again. And that Voltic Pistol Steam, you can check it out on Steam, his car there, sponsored by his game that he has there on the Steam platform. So other movers in the race here, it looks like Julian has moved back to P12, so our 3rd in the point standing has moved back to 12th. Faden has moved back to 7th from originally into starting from pole. So Chops leads another lap here. The drivers might be settling down just a little bit here. As the tires go off, we're on to lap 6 already. And those tires, as I say that, Fast Car Fan looks like he's thinking otherwise as he takes over the lead. And Weija Booty looks like he's going to follow him. But Chops comes back on the outside and protects that line. Now we'll see what Chops decides to do here. Now Fast Car Fan protecting that inside line. They go too wide into turn 1. These drivers, I can imagine, are starting to struggle on the tires just slightly. They'll be playing with their anti-roll bar as well as the weight jacker. As we got Solar 424 making an inside move on Weija Booty, and he'll move, if he can complete that pass, he'll move into P3. And that still on the outside, Weija Booty tries to come back. He's trying to get that draft off of Fast Car Fan here. Try a little bit different camera angle here. We've had 8 laps of one of our camera angles. You can see there's just a long line of cars all the way back through the field. But this is just hectic racing, and a great job by all the drivers out here keeping this going for 8 laps green with just the hectic pace that we have going on here. Looks like Weija Booty making his way past Chops into P2, but we'll see how long that lasts. Now, being in the slipstream in these cars can be advantageous because, you know, you'll be saving some fuel in that slipstream, whereas Fast Car Fan will be burning the most. Even though he's in that clean air, he'll be burning the most fuel because he's not driving with that slipstream like everybody else is. As Weija Booty looks like he wants to lead here, heading into turn 3 on the outside. He looks on the outside. Fast Car Fan protecting that line on the inside of the track. We'll see. Demigod of Chops here. He's gonna try to push Weija Booty into the lead, and Weija Booty leads that lap. We'll see how long that lasts, though. just a frantic pace here. So, hey, it looks like one of our popular drivers, iRacing, did make the start of this race because I can see him back in 24th position. Let's have a quick look back through the field here. If you thought this at the front was chaotic, being back here, now that's chaotic. All these cars would be getting a ton of turbulent air, difficult to work with. iRacing looks like he's got Flash Jordan on the inside here. So Weija Booty continues to lead here. Demigod of Chops looking on the inside though. And we have our first yellow flag that's just come out. We'll see as I click around here what has happened. Okay, we've got Upland Bird on her. I don't know when this happened, but we'll see if we can figure out when this happened. So Bird Hunter, he's okay, we've got Hoosier in the Big D. Oh! That is, he looked like he was just a bystander there and into the catch fence. We'll try to figure out who else that was there. I see McMullen back there. I think it was McMullen here. Might have just had a loose car. Looks like we had a slow car on the inside line. Let's see what happens here. Or did this happen ahead of him? Nope. Okay, we'll try to figure out who that was. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was... I see Crizzle Colt's back in 28th position as well. That's who it was, so... Let's see if we can get a final look here. Figure out what happened in this accident here. I see, so another car had put Crizzle Colts into the wall and taking out several other cars. Innocent bystanders for the most part in that whole thing. So, yeah, that's a definite unfortunate case there for anybody that got into that. No fast repairs in this race, so we'll head on and figure out if we've got some cars in the pits and figure out has anybody decided to pit during this. Yes, we do have several cars heading down the pit lane. Yeah, it looks like Solar 424 is one of the top cars to be first to pit. So we are on lap 13. The tires will have started to go off a little bit at this point. Julian Altana also here in the pits, one of our lead laps cars. Basically from P14 on, everybody has hit the pit lane here. It's currently showing 8th for Solar 424, but when he cycles out of the pit lane, he'll be in about 14th or 15th position. So these guys here at the front, opting to not take those new tires, which they're about, you know, about halfway through their stint. I don't know, so we're running a Majors Garage setup here as opposed to the iRacing Fix setup. I have a little bit of experience having run a 100-lap race earlier this week with the iRacing Fix setup, but I don't have any experience with this particular Majors Garage setup on how it runs through the tires. The iRacing Fix setup certainly scrub speed. Even going into the 5th to 10th lap of a run, you'd want to duck into the pits and get fresh tires if you could. So if I'm reading things correctly, I think we had a... And as I was saying earlier, from P14 back, everybody who's still running will have taken new tires. So that was a pretty frantic first 12 or 13 laps. What did you guys think out there? Was that pretty good? Pretty exciting stuff? I thought it was pretty exciting. I'm glad we made it that far, because it looked like just about every lap there was a chance for somebody to make a mistake there, but all the drivers kept their cool through that initial period. And we'll try to see if we can get some green flag running here. Yeah, we do not want a repeat of the Richmond race, but we've already made it quite a bit further than that race ever made it in terms of green flag running from the start. So we've got about 105 laps to go. It looks like the safety car is coming into the pits on this lap, and we'll see Weija Booty take us back to the green flag here. Green flag. As we see Chops pull out a line, got some other cars pulling out a line back there. They won't want to make a move on the inside until after the start-finish line, lest they be black flagged by the iRacing race control there. As we have several cars vying for the lead position as they head into turn 3. Again, these cars are on old tires. Oh, we've got another accident here. I can see Faden's in that one. Our pole sitter looks like his day is done with, unfortunately. Looks like he might have got some help on that one. Let's check out our replay here. There's a lot of chaos there. Yeah, it looks like he was helped. He was high, and then he was hit from somebody behind. We'll try to see if we can figure out who that was here. There's a car a couple of positions back from him. It looked to be Mouse for Life. Let's go on board with him. So they're heading into, this is the first back straightaway. It looks like Mouse for Life is going to have the inside lanes blocked, and Faden just slows up a bit being on that outside line in the marbles, and Mouse for Life gives him a little nudge, and Faden heads into the wall, and an unfortunate end to his race. Our pole sitter on pit lane. I don't expect there to be much of a repair for a car that has its rear wing and engine cover knocked off. Well, let's hope that this is not a start of a caution fest, but again, we only have we don't have any fast repairs here, so anybody that crashes will not be returning to the track. So we're going to be down to 26 cars from the original 30 that started the race. Well, I'm glad we got this thing going, at least, with that initial green flag run after the technical difficulties we had early on with the session. We still have our Fast Car fans out there and Hay Racer fans. Looks like Hay Racer has moved into the 10th position here. After I believe he started 30th, so he's moved up, and certainly he's on old tires, and he's moved up through that, but that could be a strategy that works out for him. We'll have to keep an eye on how that works out. That car cannot be cannot be missed. Looks like we've got some cars heading down pit lane, possibly. Yeah, it looks like, no, that's not Chops. There's somebody in the back there. It might have been Mouse for Life, possibly repairing his front wing. Jordan F. was one of our fast cars at Road America who had some difficulty at some point in that race and dropped back quite a bit. So Julian Altenas is saying that he's had some issues, but I suspect that's to do with him being back in the pack now, as opposed to at the front of the pack, where he had originally kind of started the race, and now he has all that turbulent air. Certainly have to lift a whole lot more than you would otherwise with that turbulent air. So our winner from last week, the Dakness 69, did not make the race tonight, unfortunately. Don't know any reasons for that, but that's unfortunate that we didn't see our car that dominated at Road America here at Indianapolis. He didn't make the 300-mile journey south. I guess he wanted to go out on top. He's still our last race winner, and he'll be that for at least the next couple hours. The lights on the pace car are off, so let's make sure that we're watching live footage and not replay footage. Yeah, it looks like we were watching some slight replay footage there because they're already into turn 4. As we have a lag issue there as we come back to green. That was probably on us since all the cars disappeared. As Jordan F. takes us back to green. Wejabuti looking inside, trying to take the lead. Now these cars are on 19-lap-old tires compared to the cars from about 11th back are going to be on fresh tires. We'll see how that plays out. That could be the strategy to have right there. Being on those fresh tires is we look like we're going to be 3 or 4 wide heading into turn 3. To cycle back down to 2 wide through turn 3 and on to turn 4. Jordan F. maintains the lead surprisingly. With all those drafting cars behind, I would have thought they'd have got by him by now. As Wejabuti looks inside, Demigod of Chops looks to make it 3 wide into turn 1. He thinks wiser of it, and Wejabuti takes the lead into turn 1 over Jordan F. We've got Jordan F. looking inside, Wejabuti once again. Fast Car Fan moving up to P3. He's looking at Wejabuti and what he can do now, heading on to the front straightaway. Now we'll see what Fast Car Fan thinks he can do. He looks like he's fine sitting there in P3 as Wejabuti looks to take over the lead. Once again, just swapping back and forth. I heard a car brush the wall back there. We'll see what happens there. I don't know who that was. And the yellow flag is out, so we had some issues there. See if we can figure out who that was. So we have Jordan F, but we also have Flash Jordan in this, I just noticed. Okay, we've got somebody way in the back. It's not Mouse for Life. R4 Shamrocks. Way in the back with some issues there. Yeah, that's a good point there, Will. 3 wide for the lead with 100 laps to go. You're glad to be sitting at home. I believe that is Dakness, or Dak, yeah, 69 there as Will. I'd have to look at my roster of drivers and their Reddit handles. So let's get a replay of this here. We can, anyway. Might have been something happening in front of him. We had a flipping car already, and I don't quite understand what then happened to R4 Shamrocks. Okay. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we had, you know, what, 13 laps of green flag, and now all the drivers want to take advantage of these green flag restarts, right? So that might have been Hoosier in the Big D, although I'm pretty sure he had... No, it was him, so let's see what happened with him. So Hoosier in the Big D, he's about, I don't know, 12th position or so, heading into turn 1. The car brushes the wall in front of him. It looks to be... I think that was LRGP, and then it looks like Hoosier in the Big D. One of our fast cars, actually, from the longer practice session, the 50-minute practice session at the start of the day. Unfortunately, in the Indiana flag car, not going to finish the race tonight. So let's head back to live pictures. We've got more cars making pit stops out here. So, looks like the top 5 cars in the field, so from Weja Booty, Jordan F, Fast Car Fan, Avendessa, and Thug Daddy have not pit, but everybody else has pit. With the 6th through 14th cars having pit a couple yellow flags ago, and the cars from about 15th and 16th with Chops there, one of our early leaders of the race, pitting during this particular pit stop. Still got some cars there on the pit lane. It looks like looks like it was LRGP here that had brushed the wall in that last incident. He seems confident in what he's got here. Let's see if we can look at that suspension. I mean, it looks okay. If we go in car, maybe we can have a look at that. Yeah, it looks okay, but we'll have to look at his lap times going forward. If his best lap of the race was a 40.689, if he starts running 41s, we might know that he has some damage there. Yeah, let us hope not, that this is not Richmond 2.0. Luckily, I do have some trivia if it does become that way. But I'll hold off on that until about the 10th caution. So at least we're under 100 laps to go at this point. So one thing I will mention, this series does have one green-white checker if it did come down to that. Whether you like that or not, that is the rule that the administrator has decided to go with. So it looks like the lead car of the cars that have pitted, at least at some point in this race. So the top 5 cars they're all on the tires that they started the race on. But Solar 424 back here, Jerry 89, and Julian Altena are on newer tires, as well as K-Racer there. The top 10 cars, so 4 cars in the top 10 that have stopped for new tires. I think going forward, that's going to be pretty valuable for them, because, again, it's not just the tires, but it's the fuel here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They're looking about 30 laps on a tank, as we're going to head back to green momentarily. Wei Djibouti going to bring us back to green. We'll see if we can do, maybe we'll do 5 wide this time going into turn 3, as opposed to 4 wide and 3 wide. And there we are green once again. Cars diving out already. Everybody hopefully has a little bit of patience here after the last 2 incidents here. Looks like fast car fans looking inside on Jordan F. Looks like most of the cars are safe through turn 2 back there, as fast car fan looks to take over the 2nd position. Actually, looks like he's going for the 1st position as he completes that pass. Djibouti looks to be trying to maintain momentum on the outside, heading down in turn 1. Fast car fan leads that lap though, back into the lead for the moment. I'm watching also on the ticker there what's happening with all those cars on fresh tires back there. Thug Daddy, I can see him back there. He looks to be a gap there as we go like 2 or 3 wide into turn 3. I can tell you I'm probably happy that I am not out there in this race with how this is going too, so thankfully I'm in the broadcast booth tonight. As we've got Wei Djibouti looking on the outside of Fast Car Fan, but he thinks better of it, or it just doesn't work. And he tucks behind as they head onto the back straightaway. Wei Djibouti looks like he's going to take back the lead here, with Jordan F. also looking to take over that inside line. Just a lot of, when one car goes inside, the rest of the cars try to make a freight train. It doesn't always work. So, of cars that have pit, Jerry89 has moved up into the 4th position. We'll be keeping an eye out for him because he has fresher tires than all of these lead cars here. And these lead cars are going to have to stop for fuel in, a matter of probably 10 to 12 laps, even with all that yellow flag running. The Jerry there is slicing through the field. Another one of the cars is Solar 424. Julian Altena and P8 also, he did say that he was struggling with the front end grip through these corners and the dirty air of the cars in front. As he tries to get around Thug Daddy here, the admin of the league. Looks outside and can't make that move, and he looks inside, still can't make that move. Thug Daddy holds him off. Does look to be a little bit of a train developing behind Thug Daddy here, but Julian is not able to make that pass, not make it work there. He's going inside now. It looks like he's going to complete it. As he slides up in front of Thug Daddy there. And he sets his sights on Solar 424 ahead of him. And looks like he gaps that nicely. Heading back up to the front of the field, Jordan F. has taken over the lead from now Fast Car Fan looking inside into turn 3. So just the usual suspects we've got here as some of these cars that have pit. Oh, we've got Weja Booty, and it looked to be Jerry, one of our cars on fresh tires. Also part of that accident. Our early leader there, out of the race with the car that had stopped for tires. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. It looked like to me Weja Booty had slowed up just a little bit into turn 4. Might have had some aero push or just, yeah, this was a little bit too late on that. And we've got some crazy flipping and some good driving. A car is dodging that wreck. We'll see if we can get the G recorder on that and figure out how many G's he had of impact. They look pretty wild there. Hope he's okay. So Weja Booty was on the inside. We had Jerry on the outside. Weja Booty looks like he just slides up the track into Jerry 89, and that's going to end both of their races. Let's see if we can watch that from Jerry here. Jerry looking he's in the 4th position, looking on the outside. And it looks like Weja Booty's just going to kind of slide up into him. I wouldn't, slide up into him, and I mean, I wouldn't say that's anybody's fault. It's just Weja Booty's on old tires, and you know, that's the way it goes. Maybe should have been a little bit more conservative as Jerry 89 here with those fresh tires, and not forcing the situation, because these guys in front of him were just going to have to pit for fresh tires at some point in time, as they, I can see it right now on the live ticker here. Fast Car Fan in the pit lane. Chops stayed out. We've got a car that's getting his lap back, it looks like. So Chops and Shunny 14 have stayed out. They're on about 9 lap old tires, but again, that was about I think there were 2 caution flags in there, so they haven't used up too much of their tires or the fuel. Who's in a really good position is coming right out in 3rd is Fast Car Fan with fresh tires. Everybody behind him, fresh tires and fuel. Load up on that fuel. So Solar 424 is moving up here, and he's now in 4th. Even though he had just pit, he's just, you know, you got to get that fresh tires and that fuel. Looks like it says that we're green flag. It should say we're yellow. So of the cars that are still out there tonight, it looks like we've got 20... Well, we're down to 19 cars on the lead lap, it looks like. Who are you still rooting for out there of the 19 cars that are left? Of the 30 that started the race. I think we're probably about going to get to the point where this is going to be a lot of green flag running, I would expect, with the cars that we have left. Hay Racers moved into 8th position here. Skugan, one of our top 5 in the championship, he's moved up to 7th. Cincy Gator here, running that Connor Daly livery. Evan Dess is back here in 11th. Wasukani's in 12th. So Fear the Putty, I think we had some Fear the Putty fans out there. He's in 13th. So we have an Evandessa fan out there. I do know it was his birthday earlier this week on Monday, and he celebrated that with a victory here at Indianapolis in a 100-lap race at the iRacing League with LMC gear. So he's one of the cars. He's in 11th right now, but one of the cars to look out for. come the end of this race, we've still got another a little bit less than 90 laps to go here. Looks like the lights are out on the pace car, so we'll be going back to green momentarily. Make sure to hit like out there if you're enjoying the race so far, now that we got it going a little bit, after we got through the technical difficulties. We get Demigod of Chops, the developer of and owner of the company that created the Voltic Pistol game that you can get on Steam. It's a cyberpunk, steampunk, a platformer kind of game. And there we are, green once again. See if we can get a green flag run, or if we have drivers just going chaotic. It looks like Shunny14 there had a bit of a bad start, and he's getting swallowed up by Fast Car Fan and Solar424, as well as Julian Altena. It looks like Julian did not make the pass there, but he's going to be looking for it, as we've got Fast Car Fan taking over the lead from Chops here. Oh, we've got a car into the wall that looked to be Hay Racer. If I can find my mouse to figure out what would happen there. Yeah, that looks like an end of the race there. So it looks like he just went wide on turn 4 on the exit. Got up into the gray. He had Scoogans on the inside. I didn't see any contact there. Yeah, there he goes, and just hits the outside wall kind of by himself. We had a K-Racer avoiding it and heading down the pit lane. He might get a penalty on that, though, speeding through everything there. Speeding through the pit lane, unless he got it slowed down to that, I want to say it's 65 miles an hour in the pit lane. I was just reading the chat there, is that Will Zeller said that his heart couldn't take it running out here 3 wide with 100 laps to go. Well, we'll see. Got a couple cars ducking in the pits. It looks like Evandessa was one of them. I think that was the highest place car that took to the pit lane. Of course, anybody that might have taken damage during that particular crash there might be heading down the pit lane. So I have to keep an eye on K-Racer. He might be able to get the, if he did have a speeding penalty, he was just avoiding the wreck there, and the admin might be able to remove that for him. We'll have to see what happens with him. Hopefully he can get that knocked off. Looks like we'll be going at least one more lap with the lights on the pace car there. So I know BR here was hoping to be interviewed if he happened to crash out early in this race, but so far, that hasn't happened. It looks like we're down to 17 cars from the original 30 that started the race. Lights are out on the pace car, so we'll be heading back to green momentarily when we head back to green. Well, at this rate, we'll have about 3 cars left at the end of the race. I guess we're trying to do our greatest impression of the 1992 Indianapolis 500 that only had, what, 2 cars on the lead lap at the end, and 12 cars running at the end of the race, but we're going at a much higher rate than that. Yeah, we'll see if Avendesa pull off a 2 wins in the week. I'm pretty sure he told me that he's running a 3rd race later this week as well, maybe on Saturday. So he might be doing a 3-4 here. Not sure how many laps that particular race would have been, but this is certainly a little bit longer than that one earlier this week. As the Mustang pace car is about to pull into the pit lane. Fast Car Fan leads us. Chops right behind him. And we have our green flag. See if we can keep it clean. See if the drivers just decide to settle in. As Fast Car Fan protects just by driving down to the white line. Looks like he has Solar 424 and Altana also coming up. He's in the 3rd position. Chops had moved back to the 4th position. Julian here looking to go possibly inside into turn 1. We navigate into turn 1. They think wiser of all of that and get down to the single lane that Indianapolis is kind of known for. Fast Car Fan looks to protect that line once again. Solar 424 looking outside of Fast Car Fan. Julian Altana 3 or 4 car lengths back, not even that. Maybe 1 or 2 car lengths back, check that. Fast Car Fan protects the inside line down to the pit lane. I'm gonna try some different camera angles now that we're yeah, I think the cold track temperature is leading to not too much tire wear out here, and car is able to pass at any point on the track, drive that high line. Obviously this Majors garage setup is a pretty good one, and with those lower temperatures it leads to everybody having a great car out here. As Solar 424 looks on the outside of Fast Car Fan in turn 1. Still looking outside, and he'll drop back as they head onto the back straightaway as they finish turn 2. Only way to make that move work on the outside is if the car behind cooperates and gives them a draft. So I think he's driven this entire lap on the outside of Fast Car Fan. Comes back onto the front straightaway. Just can't get that outside line to work. That was, I'm pretty sure that was a full, complete lap side by side right there. Not what you'll see in the Indianapolis 500 coming on Sunday. regardless of the track temperature. Looks like Cincy Gator making a move back there on Skugan. Actually, it was Skugan making it on Shunny 14. That orange and red cars look, from the blimp up here, it looks about the same. Let's head back down to the TV cameras here. And Fast Car Fan and Solar 424 is just driving side by side this whole way around, swapping the lead back and forth as Fast Car Fan really trying to protect that inside line. Julian Altena and P3 looking to take advantage, but saw a reactionary move coming from Fast Car Fan there. With Julian trying to take a move there on the inside, if he could stick his nose in there. And you can see my leaderboard here shows no time between the first and second position because there literally is no gap between the two as they cross the start finish line. So we've got a little bit of green flag running here. I don't want to jinx it. Back to looking at tire stints. So most cars are on the same stint here, but Chops and Shunny are both on 21 lap old tires with what, 2 or 3 caution flag laps. As Julian Otena looks inside of Solar 424, we'll see if he can make that stick. He's got Skugan right on the rear, and Skugan, with Julian not able to make that move stick, looks to take advantage, and now he's going inside. But looks like Skugan can't make that work either. It looks like maybe only the first 2 positions are really able to swap back and forth. These cars are starting to spread out a little bit back in the pack. It does look like K-Racer didn't have any issues, didn't have to serve a drive-thru or anything because it's still on the lead lap here, just mired back in the 11th position. So good for him that he didn't have to pay a price for doing a great job avoiding the wreck in front of him. So yeah, it looks like we've got the cars spreading out a little bit, and just kind of a train developing as Fast Car Van tries to snake down the front straightaway. Solar 424 right behind him. Looking at fastest laps out there, it looks like Shunny 14 in the 6th position has had the fastest lap of the day at a 40.224. That's just shy of a 225 mile an hour average, so like about a 224.8 miles an hour, I'd say, just calculating in my head. As we're about to come up on about 50 laps completed. As Solar 424 looking on the outside, a Fast Car Fan. Julian still in the 3rd position. He's got Skugan's moved up into the 4th position. He's moving into this battle here. So the first 4 cars really in their own battle here. Chops here in the 5th position. I'll just kind of go through the field at this point. As I see some moves there in the lead. But Shunny 14 in the 6th position. Cincy Gator right behind him in the 7th position. Bug Daddy here in the 8th position. Flash Jordan here in the 9th position. Right behind him, Evan Dessa in the 10th position. K-Racer in 11th position. LRGP in the 12th position. Mouse for Life in the 13th position. Then we've got a big gap back to BR And he's got Fear the Putty behind him. Money Gosham, gap behind him, and Jordan F. looks to be a lap down. There he is. He's a lap down, and then beyond that, everybody's out. We still have Hay Racer sitting on the pit lane, but that car doesn't look like it's coming back out. So we've got a new leader here. Looks like Fast Car Fan dropped back a little bit, and Julian Altena's moved into the second position. And I saw it flash for a second that Julian was the leader, but Solar 424 is our leader at this point. Whoa! And it looks like Fast Car Fan just got wide and took out Julian there. And right as we were watching it. Yeah, Fast Car Fan definitely has got some problems there, and that is our championship points leader. We'll get a replay of this. And that it's already started at that point. We've got, that might be Chops in there as well. That's our top 3 in points that are in this wreck. See if we can get a better angle on what's going on here. So Julian Altena on the outside, Fast Car Fan on the inside, and Fast Car Fan's just not able to maintain where he is. He takes out Skugan. He's also in the top 5 in the points as well, and Chops back there taking also the worst of it. Upside down on the front straightaway will be a disappointing day for him, having run up at the front early on. We've got Skugan here. He's still running in second position, but he's got damage. Fast Car Fan's got damage. And that looks like we can see where Julian's back here, also part of that accident. I'm gonna assume that it's not just he's got some front wing damage, but I would assume he's also got some suspension damage as well. So I'm gonna see, we've got some long pit stops here, I can tell. So Fast Car Fan has the engine cover off. He might not be able to continue from that. This could be a big points shuffle for everybody here. Although I do see the engine cover is going back on, Fast Car Fan, but that car's probably going to be slower. Julian's already back out. Let's see who else was in that. Skugan was in that. Skugan's still on the pit lane. Demigod of Chops also out of the race. Let's see here. Just trying to see if I've got any other information here. Shunny 14's up in the second position. He had dropped back to about second, or sorry, fifth or sixth position before that big accident that took out literally four of our top 5 championship. I mean, they're still running, but they've got to be damaged. Again, no fast repairs in this league after the debacle that happened in Richmond, where we had, I think the count was 19 cautions. Over half the race was driven under caution. Skugan is still in the pit lane. That might be terminal. Although, I mean, the car looks good to me. I mean, other than that, that front wing should just be a change of the front wing. I hear that car just turned off. Jordan F., also one of our early leaders here. So we'll see what happens. Lights are off on the pace car. Gonna be heading back to green here, so we're down to 15 cars left of the 30 cars that started the race. This is gonna be a real big shuffle. We'll have to see how these cars that are probably damaged, you know, with bent suspension, can make it through the rest of this race here. As we're just about 66 laps to go. The complexion of this race is going to have a whole bunch of new cars other than that Solar 424 are going to be heading into the lead here. So cars that weren't expecting to be up front are now going to be vying for it, as we've got Cincy Gator taking the lead into turn 3, past Solar 424. Shunny dropping back to 3rd. Evan Dess has moved up into the 4th position. Doug Daddy's up into the 5th position back here too. As we have, let's see, how these damaged cars, like Fast Car Fan and everybody else. So Julian here looks... We'll have to watch his laps, his speeds, basically. Fast Car Fan here, he looks to have dropped back from those cars at the front. Might have some aero damage still, even though that car looks pretty good. We can't see the fine detail of the suspension geometry to know whether that car is damaged more than that or not. Yeah, so Julian's last lap here that I can see was a 40.9, so that's a pretty competitive lap. So if he has any damage, he's still able to overcome it, it seems like. So heading back onto the lead, so we've got Solar 424, now we've got Shunny here in the 2nd position, vying for that lead. Evan Dessa in the 3rd position. Solar 424 guards that inside line on the back straightaway as they head all the way through turn 4 already. Fast Car Fan back here. So the lead lap cars are doing high 40-second laps. Fast Car Fan back here, his last lap was a 42-second lap. So he's definitely struggling out here. He's got to have some sort of, like I said, geometry problem with that probably right front suspension there. As Solar 424 and Shunny just swapped the lead position back and forth here. We're coming up on halfway through the race here at lap 60. A couple laps to go. race has been going on for about an hour, I believe. All those caution flags, but I think we're going to get a lot of green flag running because we only have 15 cars left in the field. It's going to check the Discord to see if any of our drivers that have fallen out of the race might, especially those championship competitors, might want to discuss anything there about what happened in that last accident. As Shunny looks on the outside heading into turn 3. Evan Dess is also looking on the outside. That outside has been a little precarious though, so I'm surprised everybody's taking that high line, because as we saw, Altena got taken out in that last crash by having that high line. When the car below him, you have to really trust that driver who's low to not, you know, end up sliding up the track and taking you out of the race. Now Shunny 14 has taken the lead. We had completed our halfway point of the race. We're actually up to it'll be 62 laps complete. And it looks to me like Solar 424, either he started to struggle on his tires, or he's opted to just stick in the draft behind Shunny 14 there. These drivers look to be not as interested as they had been earlier in the race, as going side by side around the track, you know, for the entire lap. Ooh, we had that was K-Racer dropping through the field. Ooh, we've got I don't see a caution flag yet. We do not have a caution flag yet. So we had K-Racer, and I saw it was Cincy Gator was in that too. Let's get a replay of this if we can. The Cincy Gator and K-Racer side by side through turn 1. Cincy Gator moves up high and takes out K-Racer, but it looks like they're both going to be able to continue, albeit with quite a bit of damage to both of their cars. No caution though. Surprisingly. So we'll head back to live pictures. K-Racer's struggling down the back straightaway. I guess he's trying to stay out of the lead lap cars. Trying to see if anybody else has moved up here. So, like, fast car fans back here struggling. What he did last lap, he did was a 43-second lap. K-Racer's made it to the pit access lane. And looks like he'll have a little bit easier time. While Cincy Gator's made it back on track completely. His last lap was a minute, so certainly off the pace, but I'd expect... Yeah, he's got a bent front wing. Heading back to the lead here. We've got Shunny, and this, like I said earlier, it looks like the lead lap cars are just kind of wisening up here a little bit and just playing follow the leader. So resetting on this field. So we have Shunny, 14, leading the race. Solar 424 in P2. Evandessa has moved up nicely into the 3rd position. Flash Jordan also moving up nicely into 4th. Another Jordan there in P5. Thug Daddy in P6, Mouse for Life. He was involved with one of our earlier incidents in the race, but has survived so far. Julian Altenham moved up after that last accident into the 8th position. LRGP in the 9th position. Fear the Putty in the 10th position. BR is in the 10th position. Monty Gosham in the 12th position. He looks a little bit off the pace here, running 42-second laps while everybody ahead of him is in the 41s at this point. Fast Car Fan running 42, almost 43-second laps. As you can see, he's being passed by Cincy Gator, who actually has, if you look closely, you can see his front wing is mangled, at least on the right side, his right side, our left side when we're looking head on that wing. K-Racer looks like he's back to the pits here. He's been in the pits for 2 laps. He's 4 laps down as he leaves the pits. And he'll find out what he has left in this car here. Only 15 cars still in this race. 14 of them on the lead lap, although I would assume these leaders here, let me see if I can figure out how far. Fast Car Fan is 25 seconds back from the leaders, so that means he's about 15 seconds ahead of the on the track from Shunny here. As finally we're starting to spread out a little bit. At this point, this race could head green flag for the rest of the race. So looking at stints, pit stop stints I'm talking about, we're about halfway through the run at this point. Everybody's out here on 18, 19 lap old tires. They've got about 12 more laps of fuel at best. Somebody might be able to stretch to 33 laps. So at least at the moment, championship implications. Fast Car Fan, our championship leader, running in 14th. Demigod of Chops out of the race in 17th. He was in 2nd position in the championship. 3rd position in the championship is Julian. He's running in 8th. So, I don't recall, I don't have it in front of me, but Skugan was either in the 4th or 5th position, and he's out in the 16th position. So a lot of attrition here in this race. Not that we didn't know that already, so. So Julian looks like he's looking to make an inside move on Thug Daddy here into the 3rd turn. Thug Daddy goes really wide into the gray. Probably wider than he wanted, but pretty nice of him to let Julian go there. As Julian takes over the 7th position and puts his sights on Mouse for Life. So this is a little bit more like the race that I was expecting to see tonight. Kind of a battle of tire wear. We have Flash Jordan just hit the pit wall. Looked like he got loose coming out of turn 4. We don't have a yellow flag here, so let's see what happened to him. I think we saw it on the screen though. It looked like he got loose coming out of turn 4. He's probably working his anti-roll bar, his weight jacker, and it's gonna get away from him all by himself. I don't see... Okay, he went wide on the exit of turn 4 and thought he might have got loose. He hits that pit wall. And that is a terminal at that point. And again, he didn't have too much aero push at that point. That was just the tires going off. So I'm surprised these other guys haven't had a similar experience out here. I think we're going to be heading for, I mean, if we don't get a caution, but green flag pit stops in about 7 laps, maybe 6 laps. The speeds have really slowed from what they were early in the race. We had some drivers in that early stint running in the low 40s. We're now into everybody's in the 41s, and we've got some drivers into the 42s. We've got fast car fans actually doing a little bit better with his damage. With all that, the fuel coming down, his car might be a little better than it was previously. Fear the Putty is in the pit lane, so first of our takers to take a pit. I don't know if anything bad happened to him, but it looks like his car looks okay. He might just be making a strategy call to, you know, make some time. If everybody's going to have green flag stops, he might be able to put a gap on the field by pitting early here. So Shunny 14 leads the race. 4/10 back is Solar 424. 1.3 seconds back from Solar is Avendessa. 2 seconds back from Avendessa is Jordan F. Another 2 seconds back is Mouse for Life. So right behind him, Julian Altena is looking to get by him. Looks like he's not able to get that move made yet. I stuck on him for a little while there. I think he might be able to. So Thug Daddy there in P7. LRGP, I'm pretty sure he was involved in one of the earlier accidents, but just didn't look like he really took any damage. BR, who expected to have a short race from kind of what he was saying early in the pre-race, all the way up to 9th position. I think that's his best run of the season so far. Money Gosham in the 10th position. Cincy Gator in P11. Looks like fast car fans now 32 seconds behind the leader. He's running in 12th though, so he's gained a couple positions since that accident where he pushed wide and several cars were caught up in that accident. Looks like we have P2 position. Solar 424 has hit the pits early here, slightly early. Again, he might just be thinking we might have a lot of green flag running. We've got 41 laps to go, so he's definitely going to have to make one more stop. So if he can get out here and run some good laps on new tires, he could get around Shunny there. Keep an eye on any other cars that might make a dash towards the pit lane. So Solar 424 is on a 29 lap stint, and he's been leading most of this, so he's making, even considering all that, he's making pretty good fuel. So I'd expect him to probably dive in the pits. It could be this time. I feel like it'll be this time. I can't imagine him having much more fuel than that. And there he is. He's diving into the pits. We'll see. Avendessa does not follow him. He's going to stick out. So Avendessa's been able to save a little bit more fuel. We'll see if that works out for him. Mouse for Life stayed out as well, so did Julian Altena. Bug Daddy also stayed out. I see that Fast Car Fan and BR also diving into the pits. So Solar 424 in 9th position's the lead car of the cars that have pit. As Shunny comes out of the pits now, we'll have to see where he cycles back in regard with Solar 424 probably coming around. There he is. So this is the battle for the lead here with Shunny. So Solar 424 with that early pit gets around Shunny here. That's the pass for the lead at this point with Avendessa is going to be diving into the pit momentarily. Could be right at the moment, in fact. And he stays out. And he stays out. So Julian has made his way into the pits. And now makes that long drive down. We'll see how everybody cycles through, so... I have to imagine Avendessa has to be coming into the pits this time. 32 laps on a stint. I think he could go 33 or 34, but I don't think he was... Yeah, here he comes. I don't think he was saving fuel that good to do that. As he gets a little loose under brakes, little right brake lockup, or rear brake lockup. As we watch Solar 424 on the back straightaway. We'll watch where Avendessa's out here. He's still on the pit lane, sitting, waiting for his pit stop. He's just getting the fuel in the car now. He's about to peel away. A 9.3 second stop, not the worst, but not the best either. Solar 424 is going to be making his way through turn 1. He's caught up with some lap traffic though. You can see Avendessa is just on the access lane back in turn 1. So Solar 424 is going to take over the lead here. And through that cycle, I don't know where this happened, but Shunny has had some kind of issue here because he had pit. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. He might have had some issue here. Why did he come back to the pits? He's has a really long pit stop right now. I have no idea. Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with anything. I didn't see any contact. He's just pulling out of the pits now after okay, he had a speeding penalty. It had to have been a speeding penalty. Wow. Our leader going into that green flag pit stop has taken a penalty, so that's going to put him back several positions. So here we go, resetting everything. Solar 424 is in the first position. 3 seconds behind is Avendessa. Jordan F is another 4 seconds back. Julian Altena's moved into the 4th position, 2.5 seconds back from Jordan. Mouse for Life is just behind Julian. So we've got a little train of cars here between Julian, Mouse for Life, and Thug Daddy here at the back. Then we've got a 12-second gap back to LRGP. BR's another 7 seconds back from him, and then the start of our lapped cars is with Cincy Gator, followed by Monty Gosham in 10th, and Fast Car Fan in P11. Fear the Putty in 12th. Shunny, who just took that speeding penalty on pit lane, in 13th. So we've only had 13 cars running at this point. As I was saying earlier, we're doing our best 1992 Indianapolis 500 impression here. That race only had 12 cars finishing at the end. So let's have a look. That battle between Altena, Thug Daddy, and Mouse for Life. So Thug Daddy's looking inside on Julian. Julian goes wide, letting him go. You might be thinking, that is our administrator of the league here. Don't want to make him mad, because that is Thug Daddy is our admin in the league. As Julian looks inside now. Thug Daddy takes a really wide line to make sure that there's no contact. No car, like we saw with Fast Car Fan, he drifted up into Julian there. That position that Thug Daddy takes in that corner, that really high line, nobody's going to slide into him and push him into the wall if he's that high on the track. And we're down to 30 laps to go, so we'll have one more pit stop in this race, unless we have a lot of caution flags. But probably with about 10 laps to go, we're going to see cars hit the pit lane once again, assuming this all goes green. So really, actually, any point here, if we were to go green flag, from this point, anybody could pit, and make it to the end of the race. But I would assume everybody will stay out to try and, if there is a caution, they don't want to be caught up in all of that. The leader of the race is our fastest car at the moment, followed by Avendessa in the second position. Everybody else in the top 10's in a 41-second lap. Fast Car Fan, we know he's a little bit damaged. He's just holding on by a hair, but he's really close to dropping into the 42-second laps. A bit of damage control for him here. Early leader in the race, but involved in that incident. So here he's being lapped. So this is Thug Daddy, who's in 4th position, looking to put a lap on Fast Car Fan here. As Julian Altena also looking inside. Fast Car Fan there for a moment was about to dive into the pits, but looks like he's just letting Mouse for Life go. Can't keep up with these guys. His last lap was a 43-second lap. To the cars that were going around him were in the low 41-second lap, so he's 2 seconds slower than those cars per lap. As Solar 424 leads. 25 laps to go. Solar basically has taken a commanding lead when he needed to in this race. Like right at the point where you needed to take a commanding lead, he has done it. See if he can bring it home, though. He's got 25 laps to go. Trying to see if there's any... The closest battle on the track is still this one between Thug Daddy, Julian Altena, and Mouse for Life. These three cars. I mean, they'll be... Julian here and Mouse for Life are going to be making the best fuel mileage on the track, since they're the only ones that are able to get any sort of draft. Everybody else here is basically running full burn on their fuel. See, BR here has dropped back to 12th, or sorry, 11th position. Fast Car Fan just made a pit stop. I don't think he had any issues. I think this is just a strategy call. Let me see if I can look in the replay. So he was already in the pit lane there. So I think he's just gonna dive into the pit lane knowing that his laps were a little slow. Get those fresh tires. He might have a little bit higher wear than anybody else on their tires. As I was explaining earlier, his suspension geometry is probably messed up from the earlier crashes, and that would increase the wear on the tires. So, heading back to live shots. Yeah, so he's back on the track. We'll keep an eye on kind of lap times he's doing. Leader, Solar 424's last lap was a 40.9. He's the only car in the 40 seconds, so he is setting fast laps. Everybody else is in the 41 second laps as we wait to see what kind of lap Fast Car Fan's doing. So Fast Car Fan on new tires is still only able to maintain about a 42 second lap. Just like I said, it's a hair under 42 seconds. It's a 41.990. So Mouse for Life is taking a pit stop now. With 20 laps to go, he's opting to take that strategy, and if the caution comes out, he'll probably go a lap down, but he'll know that Solar 424 also has to make that stop as well. Gonna opt for fresh tires, see if he can make some faster laps than those cars that were around him with Julian and Thug Daddy. Yeah, looks like Chops, you're out early in the race, but you got that Voltic pistol game. He's in the chat here, so I saw you mention that. You've always got that game you can go play. and get other people to go play, hopefully, too, so... As we've got Solar 424 leading the race, so now he has dropped into the 41 second laps, and Evan Dessa's only car in the 40 second barrier. That's just a slight 40.9 second lap. Simani Gosham's also in the pit lane. This looks like an extended pit stop, though. He's been on the pit lane for 60 seconds. I'm not sure what he did to get that kind of pit stop. So the interval back from Solar 424 to Avendessa is a 2.79, so 2.8 second gap. Now back to Julian Altena, who's actually gapped on Thug Daddy here. But it's 12 seconds back from Avendessa, 15 seconds back from the leader. That's an unsurmountable amount if this goes green for the rest of the race. And of course, I should mention again, we do have one green-white checker in this race if there happened to be a caution on, say, lap 119, something like that, 118. We would have that green-white checker. So, yet to pit. Actually, Solar 424 has just hit the pit. Avendessa's gonna take over the lead. Now he's gonna hope for a caution to basically put a lap on everybody that has pit, which at the moment is everybody from 6th position and on are a lap down. Very quick stop there for Solar 424, just a 7.8 second stop. So that's just looking at pits here. One of the Mouse for Life had a 7.8, but beyond that, everybody's in a 9-second pit stop, it looks like. LRGP had an 11.8 second pit stop. "15 laps to go." This is where we're gonna figure out who plays the best chess game here. Somebody has to blink on making these pit stops. Everybody from first to... Okay, so Thug Daddy has just hit the pit lane as well. And he does an 8.5 second pit stop, and he's out. Solar 424, our early leader, trying to go around LRGP, who's in third. LRGP looks like he just lets him go, so LRGP here still is yet to pit. As Avendessa is still leading, he's doing some pretty good laps. He's in the 41 seconds, like 41.0. Just actually that last lap was a 40.9, so his tires are still working well. He's with that low fuel, doesn't seem to be affecting him too much with the tire wear. It's kind of evened out, it seems like. But Julian Altena back here in second position, he's running 41.4, so he did take obviously that damage and that earlier crash, so his car is not, not working well. He's probably using a little bit more tire than everybody else. Like I mentioned with Fast Car Fan, he's probably his suspension geometry is just wearing those tires a little bit more than everybody else. The cambers of the tires will be bent up and all of that the engineers make in a perfect way, and if you hit the wall, it's no longer perfect. I'll give Demigod Chops a quick commercial break here for his Voltic pistol game as we head into 12 laps to go. And we're back. Not much has changed. Avendessa still leads. The first 4 cars in the field are on the lead lap. Beyond that, everybody is a lap down at this point, but that will cycle through. Solar 424 is going to take the lead, kind of a big lead once all of this cycles through with Avendessa and Julian Altena pitting. I'm glad you like the content there, Chops. Give me a like if you like that content. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Be alerted whenever Raceverse makes a another video. We're gonna have a and usually I wouldn't advertise other broadcasts during the race. However, so Thug Daddy Christopher here is gonna have a special night before the 500 Indy Pro 2000, not Indy Pro, yeah, Indy Pro 2000, and the latest what used to be the Pro Mazda series, but it's no longer called that. It's just the Indy Pro 2000 from Lucas Oil Raceway. So it's going to be some heat races. Hopefully we get them right on Saturday night. It's about Saturday night about 9:30. We're going to be calling the heat races from Lucas Oil. Thug Daddy here is going to be hosting that race for us, and Raceverse will be broadcasting it. It was a late deal, came together, but I told him I'd be available for it, and I'm looking forward to that. It'll be good calling something other than IndyCar for once. Everything I've called so far has been an IndyCar race. So it'll still be road to Indy, but it won't be IndyCar. So Avendessa's out here, 27 lap old tires. He's praying for a caution at this point. He's got 8 laps to go. No way anybody here can stretch that 28 to 36 laps. Not without a really good drafting partner. And he'll just hand the lead over to Solar 424, who he's got LRGP behind him. 4 seconds behind him. He might even inherit the second position. I think Avendessa here is gonna drop after these pit stops, but we'll see. I can't do that calculation quite, but who's really struggling out here is Fast Car Fan. So 12 cars finishing the race, or at least at the moment running in the race. 7 laps to go. Monty Gosham sitting on the pit lane here. Can't tell what happened to him. Car looks fine, so I don't know why he got out. As Avendessa all hits the pit lane, finally gives in. It looks like Julian Altena also hitting the pit lane back there too. You can see he locked it up, his brakes. Whoa, we've got Avendessa's lost it on the pit lane. That's not going to help. I've been there before, and now he's hit his front wing. Not good. So Solar 424 is going to take over the lead here. Julian here, so Avendessa is going to have some front wing damage there. Let's see if we, yeah, that wing does not look healthy. So, we'll see if Julian back here is able to erase that. He's got a gap. Avendessa's got a gap on him, but we'll see how this all cycles through. Solar 424 has got a commanding lead at this point. Hey Jim, that kind of reminds you of something you saw at Road America, doesn't it? Not Road America in this series, but Road America in the endurance race we ran recently. So Solar 424, 15 seconds ahead of the competition. Well, 14 seconds ahead of the competition. Avendessa's still in the 3rd position. But with that damaged front wing, Mouse for Life's making the move as he just about brushes up against the wall. These cars do not do well with a damaged front wing like that, so he's just fighting to survive. His last lap was a 44-second lap. Julian Altena is going to be coming up here. Last lap 41 seconds. Fresh tires. I'm assuming he took fresh tires anyway. Yeah, he did a 7.9 second lap. So here's actually a point here. So Evan Dessa's last pit stop was a 4.4 second pit. I think he did not take new tires, so he had hot tires, very low grip when he exited the pit lane. So that's probably why he lost it exiting the pit lane. Not used to exiting the pit lane on usually or on cool tires. I mean, those don't have as much grip, but probably have more grip than 30 lap old tires that he was on. So let me do one last time through the field here. We've only got 3 laps to go. Solar 424 commanding lead, 15 seconds ahead of Jordan F, who's had a good race here. Mouse for Life in P3. Julian Altenis just did a pretty fast lap here at a 40.8. He had those fresh tires. Evan Dessa in P5. Thug Daddies in P6. He might be able to catch Evan Dessa right before the end of the race. LRGP in P7. BR looks like he's being lapped by Solar 424, but he's in 8th position. Good run for him. Cincy Gator, he came back from that wreck with K-Racer to be in the 9th position. Shunny 14, who led some laps early until he had that black flag penalty in P10. Fear the Putty in P11. Fast Car Fan back here in P12. That is the last of our cars running this race as we head to the white flag after Solar 424 navigates through the North Short Chute onto turn 4. He has no issues. Lap cars ahead of him. The white flag is out. Final lap of the race. Solar 424 navigates through turn 2 onto the backstretch. He'll bring it home. Just a car quite a bit ahead, so it shouldn't be a problem. He goes through turn 3. And navigates finally through turn 4. I'm sure he's got some butterflies as he weaves on the straightaway. The checker flag is out, and Solar 424 wins the Indianapolis 300 and will become the champion of the Indianapolis race for this year and become the 3rd race winner we've had in 4 races in this league. We've got Jordan F still navigating through, gonna finish 2nd, Mouse for Life in 3rd, Julian Altena in 4th, Thug Daddy Christopher coming across the yard of bricks in P5. That's his best finish of the season. Okay, we had a blip there between Evan Dessa's finished 6th. LRGP's finished 7th. Cincy Gator in P8. BR in P9. Shiny 14 in. Let's see if we've got some donuts here from Solar 424. Certainly a happy guy. He was one of our strong runners, I believe, at Richmond. And crashed out of that one. But he maintains victory here. Looks like we got our 4th place position car also doing some donuts back there. I don't think I've seen that one before. I guess he's just happy to finish the race. So we'll be right back, and then we'll be doing podium interviews momentarily. Hey, Solar, you got me up in the booth here. How are you doing? I see he's got his microphone is on mute, so I don't know if we'll have him.
Hello?
Hey, Solar, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? You pretty happy about this one?
Yeah, it's a long race.
Yeah,
Good
there
to
was
have a
a lot of caution there.
yeah,
Tell me what
but
your
after,
thoughts about it.
well, we had a lot of caution for first half of the race, but after we got past that, I think we were green to the finish for like 70 laps.
Yeah, that's kind of how a lot of these iRacing races go, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, where you have a lot of caution, and then everybody that's about has crashed is now out of the race, and then it goes green for the rest of it. Do you have any sponsors or anything else? Anybody out there watching that you want to thank?
no,
Well, it was a great run for you. I mean, you after that last restart, you gapped the field. I mean, you finished with a 16-second gap out front, and congratulations, man. You really deserve this one.
yeah. I think Avendase crashed in the pits after his last stop, so that gap made the gap a bit bigger.
Yeah,
And like,
well, go ahead.
and I short pitted, so my tires had less wear on them after the first stop, and that let me build up more of a gap.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but looking at his pit time, I'm talking about Avendesa, he only did a 4.4 second pit stop, so I don't think he took fresh tires and
Yeah, he
leaving the
said in the
pit.
voice chat he didn't take tires and he just spun out.
Yeah, with he had like 30 lap old tires probably, and leaving the pit lane with that, not too fun, I don't think. So, yeah. Well, congratulations on the victory, man. You really deserve this one. I don't know where you're in the points right now, but this is certainly going to help with Fast Car Fan finishing P12. He was our points leader, so that's going to certainly send him back a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a good one. Enjoy this victory. Have some milk, maybe, and take care of yourself. We'll see you next week. How are you feeling at Charlotte Roval next week? How are you feeling about that one?
I've raced it a bit in NASCAR, but
Okay.
clearly it's going to be a bit different here.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be. Well, I'm sure you'll have some practice for that one. I don't know what setup you guys are gonna be running next week either, so we'll have to see what Thug Daddy says about that. But yeah, you enjoy this victory, man. You're the Indianapolis champion in this league, and there's only one of those. So take care of yourself.
All right, you too.
Yeah, thanks. Well, it doesn't look like we have any of our other podium finishers here in the waiting room, so that's going to be about enough for us here in the Race First Indianapolis 300 broadcast. So I appreciate everybody. We had some technical difficulties early in the race, and we were able to get through those. We had a lot of caution early on, but we have Solar 424 as our victor. And next week, we'll be heading to Charlotte Roval, NASCAR road course on the Charlotte Oval. And that will be certainly something. I have driven that particular track in the IndyCars before, but we'll see how these guys take to the track. It is certainly an interesting track. Looks like we do have Jordan F. has just jumped in, so we'll try to get an interview with him. So I'll see if I can drag him in here. Is that going to work? Yeah, I can't. Jordan, if you're listening, be in the waiting room if you want to talk. Then I can drag you in here. All right, well, it doesn't look like he wants to talk to us.